40 years old, he walked into a cyber cafe without knowing how to use the internet. The worker behind the counter joked that he must have just gotten out of prison.
Oh shit.
He had no idea that joke was closer to the truth than he realized. This man had spent more than 20 years behind bars, not because of a violent crime, but because he was caught carrying a tiny amount of a controlled substance. Back then, strict laws and legal loopholes took away 2 decades of his life, and today, what put him in prison is completely legal in this state.
What? Bro, you know it's practically legal now, right?
Today, you are that man. The moment you were released, you went straight to a cyber cafe. You wanted to use the internet to find the only family you had left before prison, your father. But you sat in front of the glowing screen, completely lost. You didn't know where to start. With help from the worker behind the counter, you slowly typed your father's name into the search bar, one letter at a time. The result that appeared left you frozen. It was an obituary from a few years ago. Your father had died from a heart attack. He was already gone. More than 20 years in prison didn't just make you miss the changes happening in the world. It also took away your final chance to see your father again. Then one day, everything changed.
It's okay, Russ. It's the first time you've been late.
I can't lose this job.
Russ, you're not gonna lose this job, okay? Hell, I wish I had 10 of you. Just relax.
The discipline you built in prison turned you into one of the hardest workers at the fast food restaurant where you found a job. The manager noticed your effort and honesty. Eventually, he trusted you enough to give you the keys and put you in charge of closing the restaurant. One night, after locking the front door, you carried a large bag of trash to the dumpster in the back alley. That's when a faint cry broke the silence. At first, you thought it was a stray cat, but when you slowly lifted the dumpster lid, you found a baby inside. A real baby, abandoned and left there alone. You didn't hesitate. You reached in and picked her up. You looked around, but there was no one nearby. Without thinking twice, you carefully carried her back into the restaurant. Inside the small bag she was carrying, you found a crumpled piece of paper. There was only one thing written on it, a name, Ella.
Ella?
You understood immediately. Ella had been abandoned by the world, just like you once were. You wanted to call the police, but you didn't have a phone. The restaurant phone was locked away too. With no other choice, you brought Ella back to your tiny rented room. The moment you put her down, she started crying again. You didn't know what to do. You leaned closer and looked at her. Then her pure, innocent eyes met yours. Eyes that had carried years of pain and hardship. And somehow, she stopped crying. You picked up the landline and called the police. But the moment that serious voice came through the receiver, more than 20 years of trauma came rushing back. You couldn't handle it, and you hung up.
There's no